Hey everyone, Pupsker here, and today in Warframe, I want to talk about the toxic part of the Warframe community. Of course, in every game, large or small, there will always be toxic people and toxic players playing the game, and of course, Warframe is no exception. That being said, it's not like the game's overridden with toxic players left and right and everyone's just yelling at each other. No, usually they're pretty few and far in between. But, oh well, today we're gonna talk about that. As always, most people who watch the video aren't even subscribed, so remember to subscribe, like, comment down below, and follow any of my other random pages. So, without further ado, let's begin. A big source of toxicity here and there in Warframe is just straight up trading. Trading in Warframe is 100% unregulated by DE, and at this point it is just a mess. How it works is you just have to manually talk to people and trade them either in your clan dojo or at Maru's Bazaar. And all in all, it's a very slow, inefficient, annoying, ineffective system all in all because you have to invite and trade people one by one. You can always trade and stand at Maru's Bazaar just with your hand up showing off items, but of course that doesn't quite work out all the time. The main issue with trading is people disagree on pricing all the time since there's no actual proper way to gauge and check pricing in Warframe. So we have people left and right scamming for trades and selling things that are incredibly common to newer players, usually for insanely high platinum prices. The biggest offender, of course, is the Ignis Wraith. DE has gone out of their way to show that they really don't give a shit about scamming traders, so you can literally try to sell anything for whatever platinum price you want. You can try any sort of scammy tactic, and seemingly they just don't give a shit. So yeah, interesting enough. People have always begged and wished for an auction house type system in Warframe, but honestly, nobody thinks it'll ever happen as so many players have just such a surplus of items that an auction house would probably totally ruin the in-game economy. And that is just general speculation. Second, it would just be too much effort, so people all the time flame and hate and yell at each other in trading because they're trying to A, sell things pretty low, sell things pretty high, buy things pretty low, buy things pretty high, whatever, you know? People just can never agree upon pricing, and oh my god, do people flame others, especially if there are scammers. So it's the biggest way to get scammed in the game and one of the annoying things about the game. But hey, it's where a lot of toxic people can be. It's not necessarily where they are all the time, right? It's just one area of the game where you tend to see more toxic people. Of course, there's a billion different small areas, but we're just gonna go over some general ones. Next, we have the mod builds. Oh my god, people can be really toxic and weird about building mods on your Warframes and weapons. I've found this out very quickly when I started making videos and streaming that no matter what, like, you can build whatever you want on any Warframe or on any weapon and it can fit your needs no problem and it can work great for you and you can love it, but people will still bitch and moan about how you want to have fun in the game. It's kind of hilarious, right? A lot of people, a very small amount, but still a lot, right? They get mad when you don't 100% min-max and go out of your way to have like the best of the best mods on your Warframes. Half the time, all my Warframes are work in progresses. I don't ever look up build guides for anything because, I mean, this is Warframe. It just doesn't make sense to me to do that because, you know, I can just build enough to kill everything in Steel Path if I really want to, and after that, it's just build for what you want to do, right? So that's not really something I ever cared to do. But then whenever I stream, oh dear god, people complain about builds on weapons and Warframes all the time. People don't realize that A, you need to unlock things, you need to upgrade things, and half the time it's just, you know, not worth going out of your way to do that. It's just some sort of like weird backseat gaming toxic type mentality where people think their god tier ultimate build will forever be the best and can slay everyone, when in reality, all of our builds for everything really don't matter. They're just, you know, to run whatever type of content we want to run. So I always just say build whatever you want to build. If you want references, sure, you can always look them up on Warframe and like YouTube videos and always, but you know, it's not really my cup of tea because Warframe's a chill game. I like to just do whatever I like to do. So yeah. Next one, oh god, is Eidolon hunting. So I've always just not really bothered Eidolon hunting, purely because I don't like day-night cycles. I don't like having to be rushed constantly and only able to do a certain amount of content before the game tells me, ayo, fuck off, which is generally 2 runs of Tridolons casually in like Publix or something like that, right? So I've never really cared to run Eidolons for a while, and now I can see why more people probably don't care to run it. Eidolon hunters can be kinda toxic douchebags. Eidolon hunting seems to be like actually the biggest source of straight up toxicity. In trading, it's usually like a disagreement and people just kind of yelling because they want more money and then just blocking each other, whatever. In modding, it's people just thinking they're really special and great at building things, when in reality, it's just like, yeah, no, everything you're doing is pretty standard and what have you, right? Nothing really special. Usually it's people like that. And with Eidolon hunting, it's, oh my god, it's so much worse because of the day-night cycle thing, because it's a time-limited type of thing. So that generally just breeds toxicity, right? Time gating people, oh yeah, that's a great way to build toxicity. The reason people are usually hella toxic in Eidolon hunting is A, you don't have whatever like min-maxed gear they want you to have, or B, you're not running it and doing it specifically how they want you to do Eidolons. Now, the nice thing about Eidolon hunting is generally that's not going to happen too much in Publix. Once you get a general hang of Eidolon hunting, you can usually be fine doing Tridolons, and as long as you're not like running off and being a fool, as long as you know you're shooting them with your void weapons, you're doing damage, you're playing, you're getting those lures, as long as you have a general idea, generally, yeah, people aren't really toxic. But it's when you start getting down to those like individual groups, right? Those pre-made invite-only like public chat groups where people can get incredibly toxic, right? Where they want you to have specific mod builds, 100% built to what they want. Specific amps, 100% fully built with 100% built up arcanes, right? It's when people can like kind of go hardcore is when it just gets too far. And then when even if you have all of the things, all of the items, you're doing everything properly, they just become so toxic because they want the best type of Eidolon, Tridolon running times. They want the best gear, the best possible rotations where they just yell at you because you're not doing stuff well enough. Usually this doesn't happen, but yeah, Eidolon hunters tend to be the most toxic just because they want everything perfect. The comment section on any Eidolon hunting video I've seen is kind of hilarious, especially the ones I make, because I'm just like casually running Eidolons, running through, just collecting my Eidolon gear, and then there's so many comments just complaining and bitching and moaning that I'm not doing everything with like literally every single piece of min-maxed 100% Eidolon slaying gear. So it just seems to be an area that breeds toxicity of people that just think Eidolon hunting's the only thing to do in Warframe. It's just very odd, very weird situation, but Eidolon as everything, well, Eidolons as everything in Warframe is just another part of the game, so just play it. Luckily, Publics, again, are pretty chill, so I think I'll stick to Publics and just playing with people on stream if they know how to run Eidolons, so yeah, sadly, that is a pretty toxic part of the community, and so far what I've seen, the most toxic part of it. And then the final one is just the general Warframe elitism type of attitude that a lot of players have. You know, you see it in every part of toxicity, in the trading, in the modding, in the Eidolon hunting, right? It's when people think that like they're the best, they know the best of everything, their builds are the only ones to run, their warframes are the only ones to run, the weapons they use are the only ones to run, right? They're the best at everything. It's when people just kinda let their ego take forth and take control. It's when they really don't realize that as everything, they're just some random in the game, as we all are. We're just one person in the game. They think too highly of themselves in our goddamn space MMO RPG, looter shooter third person action game, right? Call it what you will. It has many technical titles. I think generally elitism happens when people just take themselves and take this video game a little too seriously. I myself have made a job out of Warframe, and yet I still understand that the game is just, you know, it's a chill, fun game, and I'm not gonna take it too seriously. And yet there's people in comment sections that I swear to God would die for the game, or they think the game is the only thing that exists in life, and that everything they say about the game must be true. Nah, it really is just a fun game, and as always, video games, as a lot of other things, are out there to mainly just have fun. So, I don't know, some people just take things that shouldn't be taken too seriously, way too seriously, but hey, that's generally how toxicity breeds in every game. I used to play a ton of League of Legends, so I mean, Warframe is nothing at all compared to League, so I'm kind of happy about that. Here and there, I just see a bunch of goobers that I just like block or mute or ban or something like that, just because they're like, usually just don't understand social norms, they just spam, or they're just weird, right? People can just always be a little too crazy and too aggro. But other than that, luckily, most people in Warframe, pretty chill. It's always usually the toxic like 5 or like 1% or what have you that ruins certain missions here and there, but luckily in Warframe, that's few and far in between, at least in my experiences. So, thank you all for watching. I just wanted to talk about some toxicity because why not? Always fun to do that. And let me know what you think about the toxicity in Warframe. I know most people probably don't deal with a ton of toxic players because Warframe's pretty chill, but yeah, you probably all have had an experience or two with some real pricks out there, so hey, let me know if you want. Thank you all for watching, I do appreciate it. As always, if you want to support the channel, you can go check out any of my other social medias like Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, what have you. You can use my Epic Game Store creator code Pupsker if you do ever buy anything on the creator, or Epic Games Creator Store, I should say. Just store, sorry. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.